Hi there and welcome back to Darlene's Creative Studio. We're going to be working on our December daily prompt number 20, Chestnuts Roasting. This one was fun. Trying to find something that I could use for chestnuts roasting. I searched everywhere to see what I could find. So I did come up with a simple collage page. And I'm just going to flip, that's my first part of my journal. I've taken my little elastic off and I was going to make a larger one. And all I do is take a piece of elastic, burn the ends so they don't fray. And then I have these little metal ends, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's like a little crimper. And it's got some little jagged points. So what you do is you set the elastic inside this little groove that it has, right to the end. And then you take your crimping pliers and you just push down those little feet. You squish them in and it crimps the elastic in the foot. Like that. So I've made a little bigger one. I'll save that one for another journal. And then all you do is feed your elastic through the book and make sure your little feet splay out like that so they go flat. And then when you close your book, now that one's got lots of give, that's barely holding, so I've got lots of give for that one. Anyway, so we've made a new elastic closure just because this is getting really thick. And I did glue that little piece of paper on with the two little girls reading onto the front of my signature too. I just loved it and I wanted to use it somewhere. So there's 17 with my addresses. And that one was every Christmas card I write and has all the addresses of some of the people I've sent cards to. There's Rudolph, the reindeer, with my little tag there. I'm going to skip this page. I did skip that page and we went on to 19 and Baby It's Cold Outside, and we did a collage page with the tag. And then I think I'm going to skip this page as well. This one was a little harder, but I'm going to go to this one. And I'm just going to start with a simple collage background. So what I've taken is, I have this old sewing pattern booklet that I got at a thrift store. Actually, it was in the free bin. And this is really thin and aged paper, like it's literally breaking off the ends. It's so crisp. So all I did was take a piece of the pattern page and just tear that off. And I'm going to put that on this side here. And I'm going to, I think I'm just going to distress the top because the bottom is very aged. And again, this is very frail paper, so I want to be very careful. And put this right near the edge and just gently rub it. So you don't want to break it off any more than it already is. There. So I'm just going to glue this one down. Just pull my little, oops, I'm getting sticky. And again, this is very, very thin paper. You can see where the old tape was on this. But I like the coloring of it, and it kind of goes with my tea stain page on the other side. And I wanted my pages to be a little bit cohesive. All right, so I'm going to put that on that side. There. And then I just had the scrap of, and this is paper, this isn't cardstock, but I really liked the coloring of it. So I just tore a little strip off the end, and this was another little scrap of the same paper. So I'm going to try and use them both on, like one on each page. So we're going to glue this one down next. And I'm trying to use paper more than cardstock. I want to save the thickness for my tags and stuff like that. Because I won't be able to close my journal if I make it too thick. And if I find it gets really chunky, I'll just use a ribbon. I'll replace the elastic ribbon at this end and then just make a bow tie and hook it over the end. And I'm going to try and glue this fairly even with the page. See how I can do that. That one's going to go on there. So that's just my background. That's just covering up some of those lined pages. And then on the other side, this again was a piece of this pad that I just received in my Your Creative Studio monthly mail out. And it's just a little pad of a variety of, it's right here, I haven't even put it away yet, but it's just a little pad with a variety of old vintage pages and poems and stuff like that. So I thought I would use this piece, and it's a story about Santa Claus. And I'm just going to put that on that side of the book. There. Looks like I'm going to have to fill up my glue bottle soon. It's getting really light. I'll just make sure I go across the top there. So I'm going to put this on this side. And I like the tea stain page behind, so I'm going to let that show through a little bit. And then I have a piece of, maybe I'll put this guy down first. Can't decide. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this guy down next. And this is just a scrap. I was going to use this in one of my other layouts and then decided not to. And this is just a piece of music scrap. And I had just torn the edges and tea stained the edges. And then it didn't work in one of the layouts I was doing, so I set it aside. So let's put that in there, like that. And then I'm just going to take that extra piece of colored paper and put that on the edge. And this kind of brings the two pages together. All right, let's just lay him in there. All right, going to sneeze, I think. Chew, excuse me. And then I went online and looked up some vintage postcards, and I put in vintage cards and roasting chestnuts to see what I could come up with. And this was an old postcard. I did have a little saying across the bottom, and I've just chopped that off. And then this was some little children. And it's really cute. It's a mother and two little children, and she's roasting some chestnuts in a little town square. So I thought that would be cute as my journaling card. So I'm going to put that on that side, and then this lady's going to go on this side. And I'm just going to cut that bottom to make it a little straighter. Okay, and I am going to distress the edges of this guy. And I just try not to hold it above my book because the little pieces fall off my sponge. Okay, so I'm thinking this girl is going to go down here like that. And I'm going to glue her right down. This is going to be my journaling card, so I'm going to go ahead and glue her down. And let's use the Fabri-Tac because this is sticky. This is cardstock. I printed these out on ivory cardstock, and my printer color is going because they're turning very pink, so I'm going to have to go get some ink tomorrow. And tomorrow's going to have to be with a card or something that I already have because I can't print anything. So I think tomorrow is, oops, I put the lid back on that. I think tomorrow is Frosty the Snowman, so that should be okay. I think I have lots of snowman cards. Okay, so that one I'm just gluing right down. And then I think I'm just going to add that little tag right there. And again, this is tea stained paper. This is a stamp that I have. And I just stamp with a black stamp pad onto the tea stained paper scraps that I have and make these labels. And sometimes I put them through my sticker machine, and it's so much easier. You can just peel and stick them, but these particular ones I did not. Okay, so we're going to put that label there. And then this girl on this side, I'm going to make her a journaling card. So I'm going to use my corners so that I can take the card out of the book and actually journal. So let's put it right about, I got to make sure I have room for my bottom one. So let's put it right about there. And then again, you just pull it down about a 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch, probably 1/16, a little bit away from those corners, and then you put your bottom ones on. And it just makes it so much easier to pull that journaling card out. There. So I have that. And then I did have this little, I was going to put it on the picture, but I don't want it to take away from the picture. Let's see what it looks like if I tea stain the edges. Like that, and put, oops. And then maybe put that on there like that at the top. But I want to make sure I have enough room for the chestnuts roasting. So maybe I'll bring it down a little bit and put it there. And again, this is cardstock, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. We did get some snow yesterday, and it is snowing today. It's a little bit later in the afternoon. I had a busy day today. So we're getting some snow. It's nice to see, but it's not enough to go build a snowman or have some fun in it yet. Do I want it centered above? Or no, I'm not going to center it. Don't want things too perfect. And again, if you ever get where the glue oozes out, try not to smudge it or smear it. Just let it dry and then take that eraser, that gum eraser, and it'll take away any of the excess glue. So now we have to put on our chestnuts roasting. I think I'm going to try and get that up there. And I can probably trim this up a bit because it is quite chunky. So let's just trim this up. There we go. So we can put chestnuts roasting up there. Or we can put it across here. And let's try it there. You may not be able to see it because of the dark background, but we'll see what it looks like. Should be able to see it. There we go. And again, if you rub your thumb along the edges of any of these clear stickers, it kind of takes away that little edge. There. So there's my chestnuts roasting. And then we have to put our number 20 on. Let's see where we can find a spot for this. I can get my keys. So we can put that maybe right up here in this corner or down with the chestnut. I think I'm just going to put it up here. So there's day 20. Chestnuts roasting. I might try and find a piece of this paper. I've already torn some of this up, but I was thinking maybe to make like a little tag in the center there. So let's just cut this off. I'll do it up at the top here. So I'm just going to cut a little chunk of this off. And again, it's very brittle, so I have to be very careful. So I want it to be a little bit smaller. Oops. There, and then maybe, oops, I keep dropping it. I just made a little mark with my thumbnail. And I'm terrible at cutting straight lines, but there. I think I might put that on there, and then I'll kind of pull those two together. And again, this is very brittle. So I'm just going to set it on the edge of this board. Turn it around. Silly little bug. Got a little bug bothering me here, flying around my head. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue that guy in there, and that will kind of bring those two labels together, because this one's very, very creamy compared to the other. Oops, I got a little... Got a little bit of glue in the end there. Won't come out. Let's just try that and see if it looks a little better. Okay. Ooh, it's very thin paper. There. Yeah, I think that is better. It just takes away from that creaminess of the paper. I'll save that for another page. Put my pin back in my glue. There we go. So there is day 20, chestnuts roasting. And again, I do have this. This can come out. This is my journaling card, so I can journal on the back of that, and then we just pop it back in after we're finished journaling on it. And it's done. So that's it. Another quick collage, just covering up the background pages, making sure you put on your numbers and your title, and then bringing something into the page that kind of works with the title. That's good. Tomorrow is Frosty the Snowman, and I am going to be using some more of that blue paper with some of my stamps, snowflake stamps. I'm not going to be using the large snowflake stamp, but I will use some of the smaller ones, and then obviously have a Frosty of some kind on the picture, and then that will just be the background. So this will be the page that we're using tomorrow for Frosty the Snowman. So that's it for today. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.